What a beautiful life.
All that I've got is all that I need. I've got you, baby, you got me. What more could I ask for? Beautiful life. Beautiful life. What a beautiful life.
Welcome. This is the Real Charlemagne. Appreciate you guys tuning in today. Today we have a special couple guests. We have the Forbes family, which makes up of Tremaine Forbes, Pastor Tremaine Forbes, and the First Lady, Crystal Forbes. They've been married over 24 years. First and foremost, before we get to them, I want to give a shout out to my sponsors, That's Good Chocolate. Reach out to her at that'sgoodchocolate.com, where she has the Mother Day boxes already prepared to ship, and that's at that'sgoodchocolate.com. Also, reach out to her on all the social media platforms, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. Also, follow me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Clubhouse, where you can get all the details of her upcoming events, upcoming sales, everything of that nature. All right, what we've been waiting for. Tremaine and Crystal, how you guys doing out there?
We're doing well, man. If we're doing any better before.
I'm doing great.
Awesome. Hey, Pastor Tremaine, tell us a little. I know you've been on the show before, but some of the new listeners, tell us a little bit about yourself. And Crystal, just follow up behind Pastor Forbes, please.
Okay.
Yes. Hello, my name is Pastor Tremaine Forbes. I'm the pastor of Kingdom of Heaven Ministries. And I'm a father of 3. 2 of them are my birth children. The other one is kind of like an adopted child. And then I am a godfather of plenty. I have plenty of God. So for me, it's been a painful experience sometimes.
Right.
And I am Crystal Forbes, co-pastor at Kingdom of Heaven Ministries. I've been working in the healthcare field for over 25 years and mother of 3, and just loving every minute of, just being a caregiver all around.
Cool. Yeah, you guys are the community parents.
Oh, yeah. That's why I say all around.
Yeah. Today's discussion, we're going to talk about keys to a successful marriage. You guys, 24 years in, I'm not going to touch on the lovey-dovey stuff. I remember you guys.
Oh man,
that's all right too. That's part of it. That's part of it.
But yeah, just explain how you guys met, and just explain how you guys met, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, I'll start. We met each other in church, followed by his loving mother that she would come first to visit the church, that AOC, which is Anointed One's Church in Aden. And he didn't come at first, but when he came in, he caught my eye. I was over there in the little missionary corner, but I noticed him being a very serious young man, and hold
on, Crystal, 1 second. Was it the high top fade that caught your eye?
It was. Now, at that time, you know what, Keith?
And it had to fade.
I didn't have it at that time yet.
Okay.
I had the small fro.
Okay. All right, Crystal, let's go ahead and continue. I had tossed it in there real quick.
A small tight fro at that.
Okay.
And so he just caught my eye, being a serious young man, and I watched him, and at the time I didn't know he was watching me too,
Oh yeah.
And that's how we met. One good thing that God rest his soul, my father, Elder Robert Cotton, when Tremaine wanted to take me out, one thing that he did, and we was 13 at the time, and of course your parents say, y'all know y'all are not courting, you know.
Right.
But Tremaine had set up with his mom first to have a dinner at the house.
Okay.
The pastor, the co-pastor, the mother of the church, and one of the evangelists, and he went to my father. That's one thing young men, I'll say some young men don't do today.
Right.
They don't acknowledge the father, that role model, and some of them don't have that role model in the home.
Right.
So against all odds, with what he experienced as being a young man with his father and his you know, coming up,
Mm-hmm.
went to my father to ask permission.
Right.
Could he take us, you know, take us out on a date, which include the family. And ever since he did that, that made an impression on my father. My father always respected him, and any other guy, I don't care what kind of spat down through the years me and Tremaine had. My father said, you know, I call myself talking to somebody else. The guy would call the house. He said, if your name is not Tremaine Forbes, do not call my house. and that was the God knows truth. My daddy, from that point, when at 13, when he said that and went to my father and asked permission,
Wow.
it was all.
So you had a real live caller ID call block system already, huh?
Oh yeah. That was him. That was the impression that he made on my father.
That's awesome. Yeah, Tremaine, I didn't know that story right there, brother.
Yeah,
That was tight. That was tight, Tremaine. Hey,
listen.
So Tremaine, so what was it about Crystal back then that made you say, "Hey, I want this to be the real thing. I want this to be, you know, not the type. I want to meet my mom and be a part of my family." What was it about Crystal that wanted you to go the extra mile to try to put her into your life?
She was pretty. There you go. You wanted something magical? She looked good, Doc. No, I'm kidding. She had some pretty brown eyes. And I noticed, the biggest thing I noticed about her, man, was that when she came to church, she sat in a corner.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess you could say the missionary corner. They all had little missionaries over there. She was the youngest.
Yeah.
And when she always sat on the front row with her Bible. And I thought she was 18, man. So she thought I was serious. But I was 13 and smart enough to know that the silly things that were in my mind, I couldn't say to an 18-year-old girl.
Right.
So I tried my game tight. So I was kind of nervous. Yeah. So I didn't want her to hear my voice cracking. I thought she was older than me. And it tripped me out when Michelle told me that she was only 13.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, she's only 13? Oh. So it was on and popping then, Doc.
Right.
My success was really my mom. Because my mom is the one that made me go ask her dad. I ain't never exposed that far.
Oh.
Yeah, it was my mom made me do it.
Okay.
I didn't want to do it. My mama said, no, I'm going to show you the right way to do it.
Well, that she was forever teaching.
That's look, Miss Linda, hey, she was a straightforward person, man. I missed that lady, but yeah, she was a straightforward person. Now pushing, you was 13, now pushing through the high school years, how do you guys keep that connection relevant through the high school years, you know, and just pushing, you know, through graduation?
Well, it was always rocky, you know, because we were kids. And so you got the high school mentality. She talked to a few folk, I talked to a few folk. We talked seriously sometimes, and we talked seriously for a year. Then, you know, a little high school mentality stuff just kind of broke stuff up.
Hey, look, we call it back in the day a faucet relationship. Sometimes turn it on, sometimes turn it off.
That's it. The sad part is, man, I've noticed that a lot of people still carry that on, you know, grown people. Yeah. And sometimes people need to mature. And I think one of our breaking up points was when I was in my first year of college, about second year of college. And we were talking. was going to school at Pitt. I was going to East Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And we broke up for maybe 3 good years. And it gave me an opportunity to get a deeper relationship with God. She had a deeper one, and it gave me an opportunity to grow up to some of the craziness
Right.
that was inside of me, probably some insecurities I was able to deal with,
Mm-hmm.
and little things she had to deal with. By the time we came back together, we were actually mature.
Right.
And then
Not like I said, that's definitely a blessing. You guys, went through all that, but understood each other enough to say, "Hey, we belong together," and
right.
that was definitely a blessing.
Okay. One
What was the
thing,
age you guys got married?
23.
Okay.
I wanted him to tell you about the part when he thought he was going to go off to A&.
Oh God. Okay, so she wanted to get.
Yeah,
So I
get
tried to
into
bypass that one too.
Right, get into
All
it
right,
now.
this is what the deal is. The Real Charlemagne. I told her I was gonna go. No, she came up to me. We were at the college festival. I was about 18, 19. Threw me off guard. Came up to me. She said, "So I heard you get ready to go off to college." I said, "Yeah, go to A&T." She said, "If you think that you're gonna go up there and run through all those women," I said, "Oh my God, this girl can read my mind out."
Let's get you right?
She said, "You think you're gonna go up there and run through all these girls and come back to me? You got nothing coming." It threw me off that because I actually didn't think I cared at the time.
Right.
When I went over there to talk to it, we were at the college festival. I looked back and I saw some of the crew out there. I said, "Let me go out here and throw some game out." I was running game at the college festival, and I saw her outside. So let me go and throw a little game her way too.
Yeah.
Throwing seed.
Right. Wow. That's wild.
Yeah,
So you guys got married at 23.
Thank you, Keith. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. But at 23, you guys still young. You still trying to figure it out. I know. You just finished college, possibly.
Yeah.
Things a little financially unstable at that moment. How'd you guys push forward from that?
This is what we did, Keith. We synergized.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I understood that I think at that time I was making like $425, and I think she was balling out.
Mm-hmm.
She was really making good money. She was making like $5.25 or $6.
Right.
And we knew that at the amount of money that we were making, we couldn't make it having two different minds.
Right.
So my wife humbled herself and gave me, even though she was making more money, she gave me her paychecks. And you tell a woman that. No, I remember women say, "Oh, you such a good man. You must give your wife all your money." I said, it was actually the other way. My wife gave me her paycheck. "Oh, you nasty. You was a nasty." I said, "Oh, wait, calm down."
Right.
But we put her $6 with my $4.25. We had $10, and I paid all the bills, and whatever we had left, that was what we kind of, she needed to spend and shop.
Wow.
We did that. Plus, I got another job making an extra $400. So we always, even until this day, have the system of everything goes into a main account.
Yes.
Then things separate. Now she got an opportunity that does on one floor income. I just give to her. She don't have to account for any of it.
Gotcha.
At least I try. At least we try not to do that. But sometimes I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, that's cool. Like you said, a lot of people, that's a humbling factor because typically that's why I touched on finances. I know that's typically, one of the main reasons for breakups. You know what I'm saying? Not being able to manage the finances. And I know growing up, you was a little thrifty person, Charlemagne. So
and I am too. I am too.
You was a little thrifty dude. So, I knew you know how to cut some corners on different things and save, and you was a hustler. So I know you was was gonna make it work, man. And I'm glad she trusted you to do such and such. Yeah. Fast forward, you guys started having kids and things of that nature. How did the kids affect you guys' relationships in the beginning?
I would say this: they were a joy and they were expected. So we planned to have children, And I really enjoyed the fact, but I'm gonna tell you, anybody know that once you add another mouth to feed and more clothes and more medicine, we just kept that same refined system. What would you like to add to that, Chris?
Yes, I wanted to add what me and my husband would do also, like with working, you got to have your work patterns together. That way your children, and it's different for every family. Like with me, I started off at the hospital working 7A to 7P.
Okay.
And my aunt kept Micah for a while, my son.
Okay.
And so, but that was very tiresome because it was time to go home. He wants to play with mom, dad, whatever, but I'm tired. So what I end up doing, he was probably about, 3 years old? No, not 3 at the time. He was around 11, going on 1 years old.
11 months.
Okay.
Yeah, 11 months, yeah. And so what I did, I talked with my husband. I said, I'd rather work night shift.
Right.
Night shift where my children will see me during the day. And I kept that to now. My kids are 20 and my baby boy just turned 16 yesterday.
Okay.
And it's like they never miss mom, because if the teacher needs me, I'm home. I'm right there. And if we need to travel, go somewhere, I'm there.
Right.
When it's time for them to wake up in the morning to go to school, I'm back home from work. I'm right there.
Right.
So and I even had talked about that to some of the young people that I work with. They said, we never thought about it like that. I said, your children never miss you, but you have to have that system and talk it with your loved one.
Yeah, I know. I work nights a lot too. My kids were very athletic, and it was just easy for me to just say, hey, I'll lose a little sleep here and there.
Yeah,
I'm involved in their day-to-day lives. You know what I mean? I spent enough time in the military away from them, so I definitely, when I returned, I definitely want to be there for them. So I definitely can attest to that. Working nights and, like I said, just losing a couple hours of sleep just to be there. And I applaud you guys for working that out. And all right, moving forward. The technology age started jumping around when y'all about 35? You got Facebook, you got all these other platforms. People starting to reach out to you from high school, people starting to reach out to you from college. I remember you from the neighborhood, How do you guys manage through that little internet age where everybody's reaching out to everybody, just reconnecting?
A lot of times what we do is just trust each other. I don't go over her shoulder. She don't go over mine. I feel confident in my wife, knowing her, that if somebody's talking to her, I walk away. I ain't got to sit there and be up under her, and she don't micromanage me. Yeah. That's one thing. We never had that petty jealousy piece. And once when I got saved for real. Right. When she got, she be dedicated her life. She ready to be dedicated for real. So anytime somebody reach out, I can correct them. Somebody reach out to her. If they out of line, she can check them.
That's right. And we mainly didn't have that problem because I was like a no nonsense person when it comes to things like that. Right. And he is too, that stuff like from high school or whatnot, or work related, because a matter of fact, when you said that, I thought about, I was in a relationship with a young man for a little while, nothing sexual or nothing like that. Me and him just talked or whatever. But it was at the hospital where I used to work. And I let him know from the start when I started back working there in the emergency room, and end up, he was taking a patient somewhere, and I was in the, he was taking a patient somewhere. We end up in the elevator together, I think, when he came back. And And I let him know, the matter of fact, the patient wasn't there at the time when I was talking to him. And I said, look, a whole lot of people done asked me about you, and I know they done asked you about me. I said, but I came to work. I said, you don't have to worry about anything going on, whatever you have in your mind. I said, you can get it out of your mind. I said, because I don't play. I said, you already know what kind of person I am from the start. And he said, yes, ma'am. And I said, I said, when I see you, I'll speak to you, because that's the kind of person I'm going to speak.
Right.
I said, and don't be afraid to speak to me. I said, and that's it. And we never had no problem.
That's good. That's good. And like I said, I think that's a lot of problems, people run into, with the internet age. It's like, you got those old flames, and then you got some of those new people who say, hey, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I think that's a lot, some issues with some couples this day and time. It's like, it's just so many distractions. And how do you guys keep up with the distractions of life and then focusing on your family and focusing on each other, which is the most important thing? How do you keep engaged with each other with all the distractions going on in the world?
Great question. You have to be intentional. You have to be very intentional. A lot of times, like for instance, today on the way to coming here, I think I might have had 6 calls.
Okay.
And my wife would pick it up. I had to show her, even I see my boys mean the world. So when y'all call,
right,
and I tell her, no, I'm not going to answer that.
Right.
I look at them funny, because I'm like,
yeah, because I enjoy talking. When I talk to my guys, I'm talking to y'all. But
right.
I had to be very intentional to show, even with family. There's 2 people I'm going to answer. There's going to be my baby sister, and there's going to be my children.
Right.
That's more than 2, but you know what I'm saying. So, but if anything else, if it's a serious thing, people text me, that's one thing.
Right.
But if it's nothing, or I text people, so I'll call you back. Gotcha. But you have to be intentional to protect certain spaces.
Right.
And I try to, I make sure that we take walks. We sit back, we laugh a lot. A lot of times people don't know my wife is a junior comedian.
Right.
We just laugh. We sit back and make jokes and laugh at stuff, make fun of different little things that's funny. And just kind of, that's the deal. Just kind of laugh. My best friend is my wife.
Exactly.
And so that's something that we do. We just kind of protect different spaces to be able to talk and different things, and try to stay balanced.
And one thing we do a whole lot of down through the years that makes our marriage so good is because we talk to one another.
Yeah.
We don't talk down to one another. And that's one thing for any young lady, young man. My husband never cursed at me. No. I never cursed at him. He's just been a wonderful, great husband,
Right.
I'm not just saying every day was like roses, of course not.
Right.
Well, roses, but sometimes you smell the manure sometimes.
Hey, what's that song? Roses really smell like poo-poo. So look, sometimes roses not a good analogy.
The prettier the rose, there's some poo-poo under it.
That's right. And so we always, talk about things, and then some days when you get in an argument, sometimes you can't right then touch on it. Sometimes you have to just wait things out and wait till you can everybody can get on the same level, to discuss stuff. And
I think that's Crystal. I think that's sometimes women, not bashing women. I think sometimes women, they have that now thing. They like, we're going to finish this discussion right now. And
that's not going to work all the time.
We like that space. We like, well, let us calm down, and then we're going to talk it out.
And then sometimes you need to think before you say something, because sometimes you can be in a heated argument or something like that. If you just push back a little bit, just wait a little while, some of the things that you would say, that you did say,
right,
you wish you didn't say if you just would have just waited.
Just waited.
Exactly. If you, exactly. Because sometimes when you say stuff, it's like, it's out there now. It's out there now,
I totally understand that. We get a little short on time. So I'm gonna start with the first lady first, Charmaine. I like, to end the show with some nuggets. Crystal, question for you. Young lady just starting to date and, she's interested in a guy. What qualities would you tell her that she needs to be most aware of before jumping into a true relationship with an individual?
Okay. First and foremost, I hate to base everything on my husband, but he was such a good example. See how his relationship with his mother.
Okay.
Because if he's treating his mother good and kind and being that good son, you can expect that from him.
Okay. Cool. And hey, Tremaine, a young guy out here, he's looking at a female. What would you say to him? Just saying, hey, bro, you might want to pump your brakes on that one. What would thoughts or red flags for him to say, hey, I might need to pump my brakes on this one?
References, find out how good she treat the other people in her life, and just kind of keep his eyes open.
You said what now? Say it again.
I said make sure you get references. Find out. I ask questions around people around. Hey, how she this? How she that? How was she this? Ask plenty of questions.
Right.
Interview.
That's right.
I asked her, hey, before we got married, I said, how about if my thing don't work? How about if I get hit by a car, can't walk?
Right.
How about that? Hey, you ask them real questions.
That's right.
And maybe get a truthful answer. Yeah.
And that's the thing. We sometimes we rely on Facebook, Instagram posts to tell how a person really is. And generally that's not the case. So we definitely have to find out who that real person is before we settle down with them.
Check the Adam's apple.
Yeah.
That's right.
You wild, man. You wild. Hey, look, the surgeons boys messing up some folks. Oh man. Hey, I really enjoyed you guys today. I appreciate it. I know this is going to be a long week. We got the verdict coming in for the thing up in Minnesota. I know it's going to be an intense week, so I'm glad you guys were able to give a little joy on this week.
Oh yeah.
And I really appreciate your time. And you guys be blessed. And until next time, people, this is the Real Charlemagne signing off. Hey, stay positive in the darkness, and everything that's in the dark will come to the light. Hey, until next time, peace.
Take